Good afternoon. I have a condition known as reproductive immune disorder, commonly referred to as APAS. During pregnancy, my immune system aggressively attacks the developing baby as if it were a foreign body. As a result, despite medical treatments, my 3 pregnancies in 2015 and 2016 ended in miscarriage. After experiencing 3 losses, we felt hopeless and disheartened, leading us to stop further attempts to conceive. In 2018, feeling prepared once more, we prayed that the Lord would bless our intentions. In December of that year, we received a positive pregnancy test result. Immediately, we started treatments and medication. However, just when we believed that the pregnancy was progressing smoothly, complications arose. During my 10th week, I started to have bleeding. So I was quick to inform my friends, relatives, and the group that we need prayers for the pregnancy to carry on. We were also prayed over by Pastor Sunny and was included in the prayer request of our church, CCF Las Piñas. By the 18th week, my condition had worsened. The amniotic fluid which sustains the baby had dried up, leading my doctors to suspect genetic abnormalities. In the following weeks, the baby stopped growing. Her lungs were underdeveloped. My placenta was also rapidly deteriorating. With all of these challenges, we were told not to hold on to hope because the baby's survival rate was very minimal. But Jesus said that whatever we ask for in prayer, we will receive if we believe. So we held on to His words and continued to storm heavens with prayer. Against all odds, my pregnancy progressed. At 27 weeks, equivalent to 6 months and 3 weeks, my blood pressure surged uncontrollably, endangering both our lives. Consequently, my doctor saw it necessary to proceed with the delivery. On June 4, weighing 1 pound and 4 ounces, Elijah, our miracle baby, entered the world.
I caught a glimpse of Elijah before she was taken to the neonatal intensive care unit, or NICU, where she was simply intubated and connected to a ventilator due to respiratory failure. She appeared incredibly tiny, fragile, and very premature. Despite her delicate state, her doctor reassured us that they had managed to stabilize her condition. However, on the 3rd day of her life, Mitch and I were urgently called to her bedside. Approaching to her bedside, we already saw a bunch of doctors and nurses surrounding her, so we knew something was not right. My mind immediately turned to prayer, seeking guidance from the Lord for whatever challenge lay ahead.
Seeing her in that open incubator, struggling and connected to various wires and tubes, brought me to tears. It was never the way I imagined God would answer our prayer of having a baby. Her very tiny body is clearly suffering and in pain. Amidst our tears, one of the doctors spoke with us, delivering the news that her daughter was in critical condition. She had suffered multiple cerebral hemorrhage and liver bleeding. They also identified an intestinal blockage requiring a very risky surgical intervention. Additionally, she was struggling with pulmonary hypoplasia and respiratory distress syndrome, requiring prolonged support from a high-frequency ventilator. Even if she's able to defy the odds and survive, she is at a very high risk of developing long-term and serious medical conditions. She may face irremediable impairment, lifelong illnesses, and like cerebral palsy, that will require long-term care treatment. leading to a poor quality of life. Then the doctor gave us a choice, whether we agreed to end everything by withdrawing the ventilator tube or continue intensive treatment to give Elijah the chance at life.
Hearing all of this, I was dumbfounded and speechless. Looking at my very ill daughter, I pleaded to God, spare her life, and in return, we will be a good servants of Him.
What have I done, Lord, to deserve this kind of unending pain? Are 3 lost pregnancies not enough? Why do you have to be so tough on me? Did I not pray enough? Why did you let Elijah live only to suffer later? At that moment, my faith was shaken to the core. I questioned myself if it's fair for a daughter to endure much pain and lifelong incurable medical conditions should we choose continued treatment. Yet deep within I knew deciding to end her life wasn't ours to make. Life is a gift from the Lord, and only He has the authority to take it away. Despite the risk, we refused to give up, even if it meant caring for a sick child indefinitely. That night, I wept in my prayer to God. I bowed before Him in surrender. I realized that Elijah's battle is about total dependence on Him. For even the doctors, they're not sure of what's gonna happen. God said in Jeremiah 29:12 that if I call on Him and pray, He will listen. So I prayed in tears day and night, depriving myself of food for 12 hours every day to seek the face of the Lord. Then with my whole heart and soul, I would sincerely and faithfully ask Him to heal Eli. Families, friends, and even people we don't personally know also prayed for our daughter. Our D group and church friends who became our prayer warriors from the beginning were constantly updated on Elijah's condition so they could pray with us fervently. On June 22nd, during our 3rd week in the hospital, we witnessed God's miraculous healing power. His promise from Mark 7:7, "Keep on asking and you will receive," became real for us. When I got to the NICU that day, at about 6:45 in the morning, I asked the nurse on duty about Elijah's intestinal surgical schedule. She informed me that surgery was no longer necessary because the imaging scan that morning had revealed clear intestines. I clearly remember messaging my husband right away saying, "Love, gumising ka. Praise the Lord. Galing daw yung surgeon ng 6 a.m. Wala na yung blockage sa intestine ni Elijah, kaya hindi na siya ooperahan. Miracle, love, totoo talaga ang Diyos. God is certainly a God of miracles." In the following weeks, the bleeding in the brain and liver completely resolved without leaving any damage. Over time, Elijah's lungs began functioning on their own. Even her doctor acknowledged Elijah as a miracle, seeing her thrive. Though we faced some more setbacks in the NICU, through the power of prayer, Elijah's condition continued to improve. After spending a total of 4 months in the hospital, we finally brought home the evidence of God's love, mercy, and faithfulness in our lives. Just a few days ago, Elijah graduated from kindergarten, bringing home a little surprise that made us really proud as parents. She had an honor in the school. So all praise and honor belongs to God, now and forever.
Thank you very much, Dante and Mitch, and of course, Elijah. Yeah? You know, if you listen closely, you know, pretty